Okay, so now that we've learned how to set up a pattern and how to set up a material, let's render out some textures for further use in any other 3D application or Photoshop. So I'll just load a preset from the, for example, this driveway herringbone. This is the preview. I can set up my tiling to, for example, 10 × 10, and since the canvas size has been predefined already in the preferences, which is 0.32 meters, I have a size of 3.2 meters in total for this 10 times tiling. Or let's use this one so it's more obvious. Okay, so I can still check all of the different channels here if I want to, but I can also just render out the textures as separate files. So let's take the 2K option for sampling all layers, individual files, and I'll just use a herringbone, and then let's take PNG as file format. Hit save, and with render now, these are rendered quite quickly. I'll just check them. Herringbone, there we go. Open, and there it is. A 2K map and the corresponding additional maps. But I can also render this out to Photoshop. And for this I need to adjust or set up a connection. First I can choose Photoshop here. And for this I need to set up the settings. If I render out, just keep this local host, but I need to put in the correct password. And you find this setting in the preferences, general, and then in plugins. So here you have to enable remote connections, and I've put in a password Omnitiles in this case just to test. Hit OK. And if this is set up correctly also in Omnitiles, you can also just hit render. Let's in this case take 4K, render, and it transfers these rendered images directly to Photoshop. Here we go. So it takes a few moments until each map is being rendered, but you can more easily, without saving them onto a hard drive, work with those. So that's the 4K version. As you can see, pretty easy and straightforward, I believe. And yeah, that's everything you need to know, I think. And now let's move on to the more advanced tutorials.